It really feels like the developers are taking themselves seriously. It feels like they're comprehending their own designs. This game takes itself seriously. Just the amount of care put into this game at the moment, I've never really seen it like this with any other game before. Minus like Capcom, for instance, with the older Resident Evil games. It's that level of care as well. Like, this is really feeling like Resident Evil in its care, basically. Back in the older generation of Resident Evil, when Resident Evil 7 was the last good Resident Evil game, the last exceptional Resident Evil game, the amount of care they put into that game, it feels like that same level of care is being expressed right here with this game. And I hope this continues to be the case for Ghostwire Tokyo. Oh, shoot. This is a random event. That's cool. That is so fucking awesome! So randomly these cubes appear. I love this kind of random world event. But it's actually fun. When worth your time. The open world design would honestly be something that would satisfy Laser Z's perceptions on good open world design, I feel. I feel like Laser Z would love this kind of world. But I don't think this is his type of game, though. Like, he's not very familiar with Tango Gameworks, so I doubt he'll even take the time to know about this game or even play this game. Tsukunami Restricted Area. In Tokyo, space is at a premium and buildings are crammed together as closely as possible as far as the eye can see. There are some parts of the city that are considered off-limits, however, feared and respected by local residents for a number of reasons. Somewhat unsurprisingly, a number of myths and legends have sprung up to explain the disappearances of those who dare set foot within these areas. Tsukunami's own restricted area has seen countless reports of children who mysteriously vanished after venturing within. Even those who have resurfaced after the fact refuse to discuss whatever they witnessed inside. This has the unfortunate effect of making the area's exact borders and other details largely unknown. Look, I'm investing time into reading all this. Information that has nothing to do with the main story or with what's happening right now. But I'm learning history. I'm learning about Tokyo. I'm learning about Shibuya. It's worth your time. Database entries done right. And going back to what I was saying about that, And I love these subtle quotes between Akito and KK. And going back to that world event I just did with the cubes. You know another reason why I love that world event just then, with saving those spirits? It wasn't happening all the time. It shows up rarely. I've been going through this game for a long time, and I've barely stumbled upon these cube missions. And when they do turn up, they have meaning because they're not dotted around the map. Like, you open up a map in a game nowadays, you see all these markers related to these kind of events. And they just feel like markers you're supposed to go to, and because they're already active at once, and they don't crop up rarely, the surprise and the intrigue is not there with those kind of games, but the surprise and the intrigue was there when they showed up just now. Because I've been going through the game for a long time, and they're now showing up. So it caught me by surprise, and it took my eyes off the main story. It took my eyes off of other parts of the world for a bit to explore another part of the world. This game knows what it's doing. This team cared. There's more care put into this game than in the entirety of Resident Evil Village. It's a fucking disgrace that Resident Evil Village's developers cared so little, when this is the result of what happens when you put time and dedication into your game. You get this kind of game that is amazing. It turned into a yokai?
こいつはカラカサ小僧だ。
Karakasai Kozo?
古い傘なんかの道具は妖怪になることがある。
Interesting. Karakasa Kozo. Capture the Karakasa Kozo.
いたカラカサ小僧だ。
チャンスが来るまであまり近づくなよ。気づかれたら逃げられる。
I know this area. This leads to the underground area.
しゃがんで近づけ。
That definitely looks like an animated umbrella. I'm just amazed it's able to jump like that and maintain its balance. Oh, it's on a foot though. A new entry has been added. A Katakasa Kozo, a type of umbrella yokai with hands and typically a single foot. They possess large mouths from which they often display their prominent tongues to shock humans. Oh wow, I've only now just seen that in the model. Though their charming appearance is well known throughout Japan, they are incredibly rare and few eyewitness accounts still exist. They are theorized to be a type of tsukumogami, a term for a tool that has developed a spirit after years of use, essentially gaining a life of its own and enabling it to move independently. I guess that makes sense.
元の傘に戻ったな。あの子に返してやろう。
Katakasa, an ancient type of Japanese paper umbrella made with a bamboo frame. Japanese folklore suggests that spirits can take root inside old objects and grant them a mind of their own and the power of mobility. Karakasa Kozo are a type of yokai thought to be born from a soul inhabiting a karakasa. Even if the reward doesn't seem much, the fact that I'm at least taking the time to invest in it and getting lore and getting more information feels like a reward all on its own. It's not for money, it's not for any greedy purposes like that. It's just information, it's knowledge. It feels like it's worth it. And it was just another opportunity to just hear new dialogue, explore the world. Oh, this dog is following me now.
よしお食べ。慌てずに食べな。
I must have smelled the dog food I had.
きっと喜んでくれると思うよ。
God, this game is just getting way more interesting as I go on. And unlike Dying Light 2, I'm gonna say this right now, guys. This game is getting better. I didn't say that once for Dying Light 2. There was never a point in Dying Light 2 where I said the game is gonna get better. It just dragged on and on and on. There was sheer boredom. The side activities were so worthless. It was just tasks, pretty much. But this game does a great job at disguising the fact that you are doing tasks because you're so invested into the world that you don't realize it. And when a developer does a great job at hiding that, you have a great open world. Or maybe it's more than that, but it's just doing what I'm expecting an open world game to actually do. And that is why I'm saying this game is getting better as I go on. And I can't wait to see the other parts of Tokyo, and that's another thing as well. With Dying Light 2, so many of the buildings felt copy and paste. There wasn't really a standout district or anything. And the only real difference we ever got was between Old Villador and that new place or whatever it was called. I don't know what that place is called. I don't really care to know. But when it's just two different cities, that's really it. Like, just when you look from like a satellite, for instance, and the only thing that really makes them unique is just the two cities, and there's no like unique districts or anything that actually have character to them. That's a shit world. It's a copy and paste world. I really felt that with a lot of the structures in Dying Light 2. But I don't feel like a lot of the buildings here are copy and paste. There are definitely some unique characteristics to each of the districts. And it's glorious. It shows time and dedication. I'm so glad that the upgrades aren't tailored to damage for your abilities. So just there to make the gameplay like easier, basically, a little bit more refined with the fire rate and the like, not for damage purposes. You know, I had initial resentments towards the upgrade system on this game, but I totally understand the reason for it. It's to not be so reliant upon the upgrades. It's not pay to win, basically. The fact that I'm getting new things, like with talismans, for instance, this gameplay is going to be fleshed out without the upgrades. Like, they're not using the upgrade system to flesh out the gameplay, they're using it more so to enhance the fundamentals, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It shows you don't have to pay to win, basically. It's just there to, like, let me actually pull up a quote from one of my subscribers, What's It To Ya? Okay, I cannot find the comment that he left. I've searched, like, so much of my Resident Evil Village content, but What's It To Ya, one of my subscribers, he compared Resident Evil Village to The Evil Within, and he said that upgrades in Resident Evil Village are just mandatory to the game's progress, and Evil Within, it's not for that purpose, it's to more so make the gameplay, like, easier, basically. Not for the purpose of, like, influencing the fundamental progression of the game, basically. That's the interpretation of it. But that's what this game is trying to do. It's not trying to use the upgrades to contribute to the fundamental progression of the game. It's using it more so to make the gameplay easier. Like for the increased fire rate and the like. But for those who like the challenge, you will still get a polished experience without the upgrades.
母親とはぐれたみたいだな。この町で買い物をするとしたら駅の方か。よし、俺たちが探してくるからここで待ってろ。
やけに優しいな。
気のせいだよ。何勘違いしてんだ。
What do you mean? It's his job as a police officer. I mean, as a guard dog, basically. This looks like a simple Torii gate to cleanse. Oh, minus that, she'll summon visitors if she spots me. That missed? God damn it. Oh, her umbrella, it ricocheted the arrow. No choice, I have to use this. Oh. So what happened to that Forlorn? Does she disappear entirely, or does she come back? Looks like she's gone. But that sucks that my arrow clipped on her umbrella. Another archery bead. You know, that's a thought! They might be making the Torii gates mandatory to the progression of this game to get the beads. I'll indulge the game, I'll put the beads on. How do I do it again? Oh, here. Okay. Archery beads. But I need multiple slots. How do I unlock more slots? I wasn't actually paying attention to what Hanya was saying. I didn't even realize he was talking. So I missed some dialogue, but hopefully I'll watch it back in the recording. Oh, Odin! I remember seeing that. A traditional wintertime Japanese dish consisting of thick sliced daikon, radish, boiled egg, and konnyaku. Odin enjoys huge popularity in Japan. The ingredients can vary to include things like eggs, konnyaku, and more, and are sliced into bite-sized pieces and then simmered before being served on a small dish for consumption. Though commonly sold in dedicated street stalls and in convenience stores depending on the time of year, the ingredients are also sold at grocery stores for easy home preparation. The name Oden itself derives from another dish called dengaku, which is grilled tofu served on a skewer. The O adds an extra degree of politeness in the Japanese language. Oh, it's for politeness?
さっさと行くぞ。
Another entry. Corinto. There's so many different foods on this game! It's crazy! A snack made by kneading flour, rolling it into a cylindrical shape, and then frying. Its origins are thought to lie in China's Tang dynasty during Japan's Nara period, 710 to 794. From there, it came to be eaten by commoners during the Edo period, 1603 to 1868. Only in 1875 did it become commonplace to make carento with brown sugar, after which its popularity spread across the country. So I memorized the dynasties of China. It's Shangzhou Jin Han Sui Tong Song Huanmin Qing Republic Mao Zedong. Yeah, those represent the Chinese dynasties, at least the ones I've learned about in my history class. We learned a song to actually memorize those, and I still remember it to this day. Smart way to remember the dynasties. Uh-oh. Are those police officers? They're police officers! So what, are they gonna use batons? They'll probably use batons. God, there's so many different variations to the walkers on this game. So not only do these side missions serve as very enthralling tales to actually explore throughout the open world, but they introduce new enemy types. Or at least new variations to existing enemies. That is straight up a police officer. And I'm guessing it's an officer who, like the Rainwalker, had tough times during his work as a police officer. He felt disillusioned with his job, probably. Oh, he's resistant to headshots. So what is this thing? A shadow hunter. A type of visitor born from the self-destructiveness of those who have lost sight of what they once wished to protect, and who have become the very thing they once wished to fight. Oh, so it's like that. You become the very thing you were sworn to destroy. You learn about the villain, you take all the measures necessary to fight them, but you still end up becoming the villain in the end. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to become the villain. That seems to be what it's like with these shadow hunters. A new entry has been added. Wow, it's just called 429? A shopping center featuring many fashion stores aimed primarily at young women. The building's distinctive appearance makes it one of the most famous buildings in Shibuya. 429 keeps itself in the public eye through high-profile collaborations, pop-up shops, and special sidewalk events. Some fans refer to it as simply 29. So what's the whole significance of the number then? It's barely changed. Yeah, let him talk lore, dude! I want to learn more about Tokyo. Flesh out your world, KK. Don't let Akito tell you what to do. Flesh out the world. Can you actually punish that animation when you knock them to their knees? Let's try that. Oh, you can't. That sucks. It's just like the traumas, where they bounce off a wall when they do their charge attack, and you can't sneak kill them, which is dumb, even though they're stunned for like 5 seconds, and it gives the illusion you should be able to actually stealth kill them, but you can't. So this animation I can punish, but not the animation of them getting knocked to their knees. That's confusing. There should be some incentive to indulge in shooting limbs, not just the head. And setting up a quick purge opportunity by shooting the legs enough would be the perfect way to incentivize aiming for specific limbs. But despite the problems I've already laid out, this game is still so much fun. Really engaging gameplay. She's in there.
すぐ助けます。
Oh, there.
リサってのはあんたの娘か。おいおい、待ってろって言っただろう。
待ちきれなかったのかもね。出会えたからいいんじゃない？
She sounds quite young to be a mother.
ねえ、もしかして迷子に優しいのって警察官だったから？
うん、放っておくと体がムズムズするんだよ。それと優しいんじゃねえ。職業病だ。
Yeah, that's another good thing about the side missions. They actually have relevance to the main story. They have relevance to KK. You get to learn more about KK through the side missions. Those are side missions done right, when they actually contribute to better understanding of the characters and fleshing them out. It's once again another way to flesh out the world you're in, because characters are a part of that world as well. It's another reason why I love the side missions on this game. Apparently I have something valuable to that merchant. Kendo's Gunshop Survival Horror actually made an homage to the merchant by making a gif about the Nekomata. I wasn't really that amused, because I don't want to think of these Nekomata as like the merchant, because the merchant system in Resident Evil 4, in Resident Evil Village, they're crap. But it's way more crap in Resident Evil Village. The merchant is just a gameplay mechanic given human form. He's not real in the actual universe of Resident Evil. Of course, they're trying to make it seem like he is real, because the Duke literally talks about the merchant, and the Duke is apparently a canon character in Resident Evil Village, but their capabilities don't make any sense, and they only serve to unbalance the gameplay. Not so much in Resident Evil 4, though, because the gameplay in Resident Evil 4 works without the merchant, but for some reason they completely lost all sense. Resident Evil Village, when they implemented the merchant system, they made it so integral to the natural progression of the game, to actually make the gameplay good, to not drag out scenarios. Like, in place of a really stupid arcadey system like that, you could just make it where the merchant system doesn't exist, but the flinch animations and the amount of damage the enemy takes is more believable, and they don't have such absurd amounts of life. It's just Occam's razor in that sense, where you have to posit fewer explanations rather than positing more explanations. That's how Occam's razor works. And the fewest amount of explanations would simply be, don't include the merchant, and keep the enemy scaled at a believable health pool, just like the Evil Within does. And just like the Evil Within series, Ghostwire Tokyo isn't forcing me to slot into the upgrades, because the upgrades only exist to improve your quality of life. Actually, no, not that's a poor choice of words right there, because improving quality of life is basically like the merchant from Resident Evil Village. But the upgrade system in Ghostwire Tokyo only exists to improve your fundamentals, even when it's not necessary. That's the whole point of that, and that's why the upgrades don't feel so forced. This is an upgrade system done right, and the Nekomata, they don't. I mean, they sell you stuff, and it's definitely crucial because this is that kind of game. And like, I don't mind using my money at all, because they give you so much money to actually go to these kind of shops, because that's how an open world convenience store works. I don't feel like I'm violating anything when I'm trying to purchase stuff from the shops here, because it makes a lot of sense in the context of the world you're in. And then the Nekomata just sell you things, but I don't want to think of the Nekomata as the merchant from Resident Evil 4 or from Resident Evil Village, because I hate those systems entirely. The King of the Loan Sharks. A fortune teller called out to me while I was roaming the streets. He tried to lure me in with some hokum about seeing good fortune in my future, money coming my way, crap like that. The guy was clearly just fishing for a sucker to drain the cash out of. In any case, I had pretty good reason to doubt he could see anything. He had a bound spirit floating right behind him, and he didn't have a damn clue. The spirit started spilling his life story to me, telling me how he fell into ruin after constantly borrowing money from crooked loan sharks, like there are any sharks on the up and up. Tragic, if nothing unusual by itself. No, the part that caught my attention was that several employees who worked at the moneylender all died at the same time on company property out of the blue. They all died with looks of sheer terror on their faces, like they'd seen something they shouldn't have. I decided to check out the building where it all happened. Inside the ruined remains of the office was the boss of the whole enterprise, dressed to the nines and looking damn well pleased with himself. Surprise of the day, turns out he was a monster in disguise. A damn nasty one at that too. He had a big mallet thing he was swinging around. If that thing had been an Uchire no Kozuchi, like in the old fairy tale, then maybe that fortune teller would have been right, and I'd be swimming in money right now, but nope, it was just a plain old mallet, and all I got for my trouble was some bruises. All that enemy gave you a lot of trouble? Surprising. Somehow I knew we'd get another vision. So hot. It must be referring to the fire. It's referring to the fire in that moment. There's another Ukoye apparently. Oh, another one as well. They're all portraits. Time to get serious. Oh, shit! At least you can sprint while charging, just like Resident Evil 7. That's nice.
Yes.
Is this Ed?
エドだ。またボイスレコーダーだな。
今の渋谷の状況を確認したい。あの奇妙な月を調べてくれないか。これは
A lunar phenomenon?
データは複数欲しい。いくつかのポイントでデータを取ってくれ。必要なものは準備しておいた。後ろのロッカー252だ。
252.
ものすごく一方通行な会話だったね。
いつものことだ。けど、あいつが重要だって言うんだ。調べてみるか。
He said it's in a locker behind
まず
me.
はロッカーにあるものを回収しよう。
252だったね。
Oh, here it is.
なんだろうこれ。
観測装置だろうな。腕につけてみろ。開けた場所に行こう。月がしっかり見える場所だ。
Clear view of the moon.
ここなら
Of course
十
so.
分な高さがありそう。上に行ってみるか。
なんでだろう。俺の会社どんどん人がいなくなるんだ。呪われてるのか
何か心当たりはある？
な。いや、もっと。社員のためにいろいろやったんだけどな。
行ってみるしかなさそうだな。
Find the office building. Looks like it's in this direction here. Oh, there it is. It's right over here. It's wherever there's corruption. It has to be.
ここか。中に入って調べてみるとするか。
廃墟になってるね。
こうなった原因を調べてみるか。
Oh, I hear... Yep, there's a walker there. Oh, shit! That's... What the hell is that? That is not a walker. What is this thing? Should probably charge up my fire. God, you are quite beefy. What is that thing? A rage walker? A type of visitor born from explosive rage. Their anger is so intense that it causes the very land beneath them to tremble. That is definitely something I need to be careful of. Oh shit! Shit, I gotta run. Okay, it looks like they've lost me. Oh, I didn't actually notice her face. I think it's a newspaper that's on her face. For that particular marionette. I mean, I keep calling them marionettes when I know they aren't marionettes. So they look a lot like marionettes. What do we have here? Overtime policy complaint. Having days where overtime isn't allowed won't change what work I have to get done. Clients aren't going to just wait for the next business days to roll around. Just pay us overtime instead of forcing us to take work home.
残業が減っても仕事が減らなきゃ意味ないね。他にもいろいろありそう。探してみるか。
Oh!
なんだろう。
That looks valuable. A Japanese doll, a female doll dressed in traditional Japanese garb. In many cases, Japanese doll refers to a female doll dressed in traditional Japanese garb. During the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, they were considered important to wedding ceremonies when daughters from samurai families got married. Japanese urban legends tell of the hair on these dolls being able to grow. One such instance involves a treasured doll belonging to a girl who died as an infant. At first, the doll's hair was merely a short bob, but it rapidly grew longer and longer because, supposedly, the girl's spirit had possessed it. The girl's spirit had possessed the doll. Reminds me of that side mission we did, where we had to follow that doll. And it contained, that spirit's sister. Open office plan complained. So what? You thought not having any set work areas would improve communication? Because I feel even more alone now. Everyone's off making their little office clicks, and I'm left totally alone.
確かにこれは辛い。
Got him. I think this would be a good time as any to use the stun talisman. Let's try it. Yeah, that stun talisman was very useful. Oh shit. Oh, shit, they're appearing out of thin air. That was a trap. That was dumb. Entirely my fault. God, this guy is so meaty. He will not go down. There we go.
できればもう戦いたくないな。
Frustration with promotion. I guess that new performance review system is why I was promoted to manager despite being so young. But like, what am I supposed to do when everyone I'm managing is older than me and won't respect me? I feel like I was set up for failure here. Yeah, it seems like the spirit is not telling the full truth. It's clear that there's a lot of frustration here.
そういうやつもいるだろうな。なるほどね。なんとなく原因は分かったな。
頑張ろうとしていたのはわかるけど。
負の感情を溜めちまっただけだな。
Yeah, there's something he's not telling us. There's definitely something he's not telling us.
何が原因だったんだい？
社員のためにやったことがうまくいってなかったみたいだね。
お前は何もしない方がいいタイプの経営者なんだろうな。
そうか。喜んでなかったのか、みんな。でも原因が分かったから次改善できるはずだ。やるぞ。みんなのために頑張るぞ。
あの世ではほどほどにしろよ。
Okay. So he didn't have any ulterior motives, he heard the criticism and he took it. What is the point of that purple energy that these rainwalkers initiate? I think it's some kind of grab, most likely. Yeah, that's everything as well. I don't think I've seen a single grab animation in this game. I wonder if the enemies even have grabs. Oh, headshots were really stunning that guy. Man, these guys are so meaty. You do not want to engage in combat with the Rugged Walkers. They take a beating. Wow, not even fire knocks this guy over. Jesus Christ. Meat for Brains over here is so resilient to my elementals. Oh, this looks like a pop. That's definitely a path if it's leading me to... Oh, there's an elevator there. There's a staircase here. There must be a way. Okay, I guess I could have just done that.
さっきの装置を構えるんだ。月に向けてな。
Point it at the moon. So, how do I... Oh, I go over here.
月に照準を合わせれば観測が始まるはずだ。天狗の観察用に似た装置をエドに作ってもらったことがある。
何その用途。
Tengu watching.
よし、これでいい。
次行くぞ。
Whoa, what is that over there? Not sure what that structure is over there. Alright. Time to make a leap of faith. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit! No, no, no! I'm gonna die! Oh, never mind. I guess you don't take fall damage. Huh. And all this time I was very paranoid about the idea of fall damage. Look at her twitching. I mean, most likely her body didn't know how to interact with the geometry, but it really feels accommodating for a spirit to twitch like that. A dotaku, bell-shaped bronzeware thought to have been produced during Japan's Yayoi period? There's so many periods in Japan I don't know about. Roughly 1000 BCE to 200 CE. Although the taku part of the name refers to a type of Chinese music bell, whether the taku were used as musical instruments has yet to be proven. The taku underwent changes in their appearance after being introduced in Japan. Not only did they become larger, but they also had designs affixed to them. By the late Yayoi period, the taku in excess of a meter in height were being forged. Excavated evidence points to them not only ceasing to be manufactured by the 3rd century, but even actively destroyed. One theory postulates that as ritual symbols of a bygone era, they had become an inconvenience to those in power. Nice tidbit of information.